you've got to ask, okay, how do they get there? We now know. There are two stories. I'm going to tell you two ways. First, I'm going to tell you the way the voodoo practitioners see it. I'm going to tell you the science behind it. Okay, so what happens is you are part of a community, and you get wrong. Something bad happens. And I'm not talking, they didn't return my text, or, they didn't bring the book back that I borrowed, or something like that. No, I'm talking something that involves dishonor. I'm talking something that involves death of a loved one, maybe attempted death on your part. Something that somebody has got to pay. And in this sort of world, remember, Haiti, not known for its police force, or I should say, the police force is known for, nobody wants to see. Right? It's on top of the nobody wants a part of that, man. So, what do? Well, you've got to extract vengeance. So how do you do it? You go to a person, you go to a voodoo priest, basically a voodoo hitman, and you say, I need this person taken care of. And that priest is going to charge you a lot of money. Do not get me wrong on this. But he'll say, all right. And then what he's going to do is he's going to sneak into the house. He's going to take this powder. He's going to whip up the powder. He's going to put that powder over the doorstep. Within 2-3 days, that person is dead. They're going to be laid out. They're going to be buried. They're going to be put in the ground and forgotten. Then a couple weeks, maybe a month or so later, you're going to start hearing word that this guy's back. And he's a couple of villages over. And he's working the sugar cane fields all day. He's got a cane machete in his hand, and he's working. And he doesn't talk, he doesn't complain, he doesn't bitch. He just works. That's what he does. He has been turned into a zombie. And folks, as I said, there are medically documented cases of this happening. Now, how? In the late 1970s, early 1980s, there's an ethnobotanist by the name of Wade Davis. He wrote a book called Serpent in the Rainbow. I recommend finding the book. It's really a good book. And he's charted with finding a sample of the voodoo powder. Now, I'm not going to ruin, spoilers and all. He manages to get a sample of it, and they examine it. What happens? The active ingredient is blowfish toxin. There's a species of blowfish running around the Caribbean. And if y'all are familiar, if y'all eat sushi, if you've ever had sushi, there's that mythical sushi called Voodoo, where if it's prepared incorrectly and you eat it, you die. It's a relative of that animal. What it is an incredibly powerful paralytic. Now, this practitioner takes this, in addition with some other herbs, with several secret herbs and spices, combines it together into a pharmacological hits the person with. He puts it on over the person's doorstep, like I said. Most people in Haiti don't wear shoes, right? The drug seeps in through their feet. A couple of days, the drug takes effect. They're laid out. Now, it does not kill them. What it does is it puts them into a paralytic trance. They cannot move. They cannot speak. They cannot do anything using their conscious muscles. But they are alive. They are subconscious. Now let's imagine how horrible that is. People come to you, your loved ones, see you, they try to find a heartbeat. They cannot find it. They try to find a pulse. They cannot. They try to find you breathing, evidence of you breathing. They cannot. Because remember, we're talking guys who live in a village, right? The idea of them getting a stethoscope or any sort of extreme medical care, very small. If you're dead to the naked eye, guess what? You're dead. So, you are put in a pine box. You are given your farewell. Your friends, your relatives say goodbye to you. You hear the lid of the coffin laid on you. You hear the hammer you down. You feel yourself being lowered into the ground. You hear the dirt hitting the top of your coffin. And the only thing you can do is pray that it does not rain for the next day or so. Because if it does, you're done. Later on that night, the priest, along with a couple of heavies, are going to dig you up. This is going to be in the middle of the night. He's going to give you a potion that will wake you up. In fact, it doesn't wake you up. What it does, it's a distillation of a drug called Datura. That is a very powerful psychoactive drug. So, he's going to give that to you. So let's play back what has just happened within the course of 2 or 3 days. You've fallen sick, you've died, you've been buried, you've been stuck in a box underground for 8 to 10 hours, maybe even a couple of days. Then you're given a drug going to make you trip balls. You are messed up. At this point, you're suffering from drug overdose at least twice. You're suffering from brain damage because you haven't been breathing. You know, you haven't been getting the oxygen. And you've also been cultured. You've been told zombies exist. You've been told that you are now dead. So what do? When that guy pops that coffin, looks at you, gives you a potion that wakes you up, and says, "You're working for me now." What are you going to do? You're going to work for him. Well, like I said, fortunately, that process does not occur here in New Orleans, mainly because the recipe is not used. And now, because we've got, believe it or not, even New Orleans has 20th century medicine. If somebody drops over, you call the EMTs. The EMTs will find out relatively soon the person's not dead; they're just in a coma. I have not even heard of people being affected by this in this city, so that's not an issue here. Pardon me.